Podcast Rock City.
What's up, everybody? Joe here from Podcast Rock City. Thanks for listening to the last show. Great show. Turned out to be a big hit. Jody Have Not. He's awesome. Don't forget, he's going to visit me every month on the show. This week, I wanted to talk about something completely different than what everybody's talking about, the Hall of Fame, and every people are also trying to get away from talking about that because it's becoming very stale and we're all annoyed. I think that if we could use one word to describe the entire situation, it's annoyed. At first we were all so excited, and now we're all like, I'm annoyed. I'm sick and tired of hearing about it. Rolling Stone magazine has played this like if they were the heel in the WWE, if they were Mr. McMahon, they have not only turned the KISS universe against each other, they have turned KISS against each other when they should be all together going, yes, this is awesome for our fans. So I decided this week to talk about the upcoming KISS Cruise 4. I've been on them before. I went on 1 and 2, and I had a great time, and I am now going on 4. And when I recorded this interview, I wasn't going on 4, and since talking to the representative from the KISS Cruise, I decided to go. So here's the interview. Listen closely because it is an awesome thing to go on these. And if you have the opportunity to go, do so. It's not expensive when you think about everything you get. Every last thing is included. And it's a lot of fun. I cannot say enough about that. If you're into KISS, no matter what era, you're going to enjoy this. Okay, so here's the interview. So I wanted to talk to somebody about the new KISS Cruise that's coming up, KISS Cruise 4, and it's in October. And for those of you that haven't gone before or on the fence about going, I wanted to give you some details and talk to somebody from SIXTHMAN, that's the company that puts it on, so you can hear, A, how easy it is to get onto the cruise, B, how affordable it is, and C, how much fun it is, because those are the 3 top things. People are always like, oh, it's expensive, when really it's not expensive when you think about the fact that you have time to pay it off. It's not I have to come up with $1,000 today. I can put a down payment on and then pay a little bit. So what I wanted to do here was bring in Ben Ferguson, Sales and PR and Marketing Manager for SIXTHMAN. How you doing?
Good. Thanks for having me on, Joe.
Very excited about this. I'm working really hard at trying to go again. It'll be my 3rd one. I had to miss the last one for all kinds of reasons, work being one of them, of course. When somebody comes up to you and says, I would love to go on the KISS Cruise, but I don't have $1,000 that I could just whip out, what do you say to them?
I think the biggest thing is understanding what exactly you're paying for and what that price includes. And then I think the other aspect of it too is at SIXTHMAN, we understand that these are premium vacations and experiences for people. So we really work to try to make sure that anybody, regardless of what your income level, can attend these vacations. And so one of the reasons, or one of the ways that we do that is by offering payment plans. So, if you register for the cruise and it's 9 months out, you can put down $150 a month, which is a little bit easier to swallow than throwing down $850, which is the entry point right now for this particular event. So we try to make it as affordable as possible. We sail on the shoulder season of the cruise industry's regular sailing season to lower those expenses. And we really try to build in a lot of value incentives to make the cost something that's justifiable for fans of the band.
And in the cruise, what I know from going on a couple of them is you will definitely get an unmasked sail away show, and they play I mean, so many songs and obscure stuff. I mean, for KISS fans out there, they did Elder stuff, and it wasn't perfect, but it was fun, and that was the most. People were just yelling out names of songs, and they were trying them, and that was a lot of fun. But for the most part, they have a full set of songs that they play acoustically and unmasked, right? And then you're on the top deck of the boat, so it's sun shining, and you're sailing away. God willing, sun shining. We didn't have a problem. You didn't have a problem last cruise, I'm imagining, because I saw the video. But and then they do a Q&A, in which
That's right.
The questions have been asked, written in beforehand, and then everybody votes on them for what gets asked to the band, and they answer them right there. I mean, the first cruise was amazing because somebody actually asked Gene if he could send him and his family to Disney World because he spent the money for Disney on the KISS cruise, and Gene paid for it. It was spectacular. He was like, "Sure, I'll send you," and then he got his number and everything. It was really funny. So I'm imagining that a lot of the activities will be, the same, whether it be like belly flop contest with Paul Stanley or pick throwing with Gene Simmons.
Yeah, we haven't announced the specific activities yet, but you can be sure that we'll have some artist-hosted activities like we have over the previous couple of years. Those tend to be incredibly exciting for the guests that are either lucky enough to participate or even those that are watching it, because you're getting to see a side of one of the guys from the band in a whole new light, and some of the activities are a blast. I don't know if you ever saw the pick throwing contest.
I did it.
But
I did it.
Gene and the entire crew from KISS are. There's no word to define how expert they are at throwing picks. I mean, these guys are throwing picks and hitting targets, 50 yards away easily. And we did a pick throwing contest that was a lot of fun. I know that'll be probably coming back. One thing that we are going to be doing differently for KISS Cruise 4 this year that we're really excited about, so we have two big changes in the programming. The first thing that we're doing is we are doing a pre-party on the ship on October 30th, before it technically leaves for the start of the KISS Cruise. And essentially what that means is that booked guests can pay an additional fee. It's way cheaper than what you would pay for a hotel in Miami if you were flying in a day before. You can get into your cabin a day early. We'll have programming on the ship. The ship will actually go out into international waters that night. It'll be a pre-party on the vessel, Norwegian Pearl, that we're going to be sailing on for the KISS Cruise. But people have the option of coming earlier and getting their party started a little bit earlier. And that's something that we've done on some of our other events, and it's been incredibly successful. It's a lot of fun, and I think the biggest benefit is not only do you get an extra day of vacation with your KISS community, but you're also saving a lot of money by not staying in Miami overnight.
Sure. I can tell you I had to do that 2 times in a row, and the hotels are very expensive.
Yeah, so we're real excited to be offering that this year. And then one of the new things that we're going to be doing is KISS Cruise is going to Great Stirrup Cay and Nassau, Bahamas. And Great Stirrup Cay is basically a private island that's going to be reserved just for the guests on the ship. And so we're going to be doing something special in Great Stirrup Cay this year. We're going to be doing a KISS Island concert. It's going to be the acoustic unmasked show.
Oh.
The stage fits right on the beach, Joe. You're literally either in the water floating on a raft, or you're sitting, with your toes in the sand and a cold brew in your hand, enjoying the band. So it's going to be a lot of fun. They'll still do their epic indoor shows on the ship, but we're going to move the acoustic show to the island this year to give people a little bit of a different environment and hopefully a whole new set of memories.
Wow, that is spectacular. Great Stirrup Cay was where we were going to go on the second one, but the hurricane went through, and then we wound up going. Sandy. Yeah, man, it messed everything up.
Wrenching those plans. Yeah, it sure did.
I remember I was sitting in Bubba Gump's shrimp place in Miami eating shrimp, and then all of a sudden I got this message, and it said, "Hey, you're going to Mexico." I was like, okay, that's a little different, but all right. And it was still wonderful. It was still wonderful. It was a pretty amazing thing. I've never been there, and it was still, it was amazing how you guys put that together so quickly, and we wound up going there, and I saw the country was really beautiful, and it was a lot of fun. The other thing that I read was, you do get a picture with the band, with the people in your cabin. If there's 2 of you in the cabin, there's 2 of you in the picture. And,
That's right.
And now I did read that this year, are they going to be wearing their suits that they've been doing?
That's right. It's going to be a dress to kill photo with KISS. So they'll be in their suits with their makeup on. And it'll be a little bit different than the past couple of years where they've been in their normal stage garb. So,
and I'm imagining these are the suits that they're famously being used for advertised all over the country and the world right now.
That's right. That's right.
Wow, that'd be pretty awesome. I have 2 pictures of me with the band. One with the ex-wife. That one is not up on the wall. That one is off the wall, and the other one is framed.
Very cool. Very cool. Well, I think that's one of the neat things about KISS, and obviously why they have such a devout following. They're really hands-on in everything that they do, and each year they want to make the cruise, a new experience, but at the same time a familiar experience for the people that are brand new to it or coming back for a second or third or even a 4th year.
Right.
So doing stuff like this, doing the dress to kill photo, doing the show on the island is just another example of how great they are as a host for a vacation, just trying to keep it interesting and different from year to year. And that's always a challenge, especially if you get into those multi-year festivals. We've been doing an event called the Rock Boat now for next year will be its 15th year. And, it's a lot of work to come up with new programming. It's easy in a festival style format like that, but I think it's even more difficult when you have an event that's built and hosted around a singularity like KISS, and they're just fantastic at coming up with new aspects to this event that I think keep it exciting from year to year.
Do you know yet if Cabo Wabo will be providing a sail away shot, or is it too early to know?
I want to say that they will be on board this year. I don't know what their activations are going to be yet. Typically, we do the sail away shot. We do a sail back shot. We also have a lot of fun games like battle shots that are built around the Cabo Rita.
Right.
So I think that they're going to be on board. I don't have 100% confirmation on that, but they've been active with KISS for the past couple of years, and they're such a great sponsor and bring so much to the cruise that I think the guests can expect to see them back this year.
Absolutely. Now, and one other thing I want to make sure that people understand is no matter what kind of room you get, even if you get the cheapest room that you could possibly get, everything is still included. It's not like you pay for the biggest of all suites, so you get this and these people don't. Everybody gets equal opportunity for everything, except the room is just different. Am I correct in that?
Yeah, I'm actually really glad you brought that up, because that's one of the unique aspects of not just the KISS Cruise, but all the events that SIXTHMAN produces. And to put it bluntly, we just don't believe in any type of VIP program. So if you're able to afford the giant multi-room suite, that's fantastic. If you can only afford interior room, I think the important thing to know is that, one, both people are going to get the exact same experience on the ship. There's not going to be anything included outside of the amenities that come with a particular room. And then you're absolutely correct. Everything on the ship is included, with the exception of the alcohol, the spa center, and the nice thing about Norwegian Pearl is that in addition to having a great buffet and your standard sit-down types of restaurants, they also offer, I want to say 9 to 10 specialty dining options. And those are extra as well, but they're fantastic if you want to go to a smaller restaurant that's not as large, or if you're looking to just have sushi or maybe a great steak. Those options are available on the ship as well. But food is free, non-carbonated beverages. There's 24-hour room service. There's a pool on the pool deck that sits opposite the stage, and a couple of hot tubs. And there's also a health and fitness center that comes included with that pricing as well. So it's a full-flavored hotel at sea that comes with all the amenities you come to know and expect from a hotel in a major city, but you're also getting the added incentive basically being on a floating backstage with your favorite band.
Yeah, and for those of you listening right now, I want to tell you my first experience was I had a great time on the second cruise. The first cruise was so amazing, and the music was spectacular, and the experiences were spectacular. I'll tell you that before we'd even left Miami, I was standing at an ATM getting money out, and I turned around, and one of my favorite professional wrestlers was on the boat, Edge, from the WWE, and I turned around, and I was like, everything just got perfect. It was just so cool, and he stood there and he talked to me and he took his picture with me, and I left him alone for the rest of the time, although the little kids on the boat did not. As soon as they saw him, it was all over. But Dale Torborg, who was the demon wrestler for WCW, was on the boat, and I sat in the ocean with Skid Row drinking beers when we were on the island. Half Moon Cay, I think, is where we went. And that was pretty cool. Right. And they were all very friendly. And then when we, on the second cruise, you guys had a barbecue on the top deck, and it was really cool. You just waited in line. You got a burger or a hot dog or whatever you wanted. The buffet is amazing. The desserts are amazing, and I can't say this enough, and I know that some of you were like, he's just saying that because he's talking to the guy, but it is not true. The Sixth Man people are amazing. If you walk up for any problem, they will solve that problem immediately, and before it was Alex, it's somebody new.
Alex,
who's the warrior.
Alex has been the warrior for KISS Cruise for the past 3 years. This year, we're bringing on board Sixth-Man Bill, and Bill started working for Sixth-Man last year. He is, I'll tell you, Alex left some pretty big shoes to fill. Luckily Bill's got some big feet because he's hilarious. He's a really funny guy, and he's really excited about working with this community. And I think that's kind of the big thing too, that a lot of people don't necessarily get from just looking at the website or looking at, a video of last year's cruise. But, we're not just putting together an event. We're really helping to build communities of people. And that's one of the neatest things that we see from year to year when we sail on an event like KISS Cruise is you see the people that have come back multiple years. They're reuniting with people that, maybe they haven't seen for a year. Maybe they've actually, made the effort to go and visit or hang out with or catch a KISS show with at some point in between cruises. And then you're also seeing, we like to call them veterans. You're seeing these veterans take, new cruisers under their arm and kind of show them the lay of the land, let them know how it's done, the tips and tricks of being on a ship for a couple of days. It's really fun to see that. And from the Sixth-Man side of things, that's what we absolutely love to see happen within these events or these communities that form. And KISS is really unique in that it's a very heavy international audience. So we have people that are traveling from all over the world, Australia, Japan, South America, Europe.
Germany. I met quite a few Germans.
Germany's always very well represented on the ship. Way to go, Germany, if you're listening out there.
Oh, they're listening.
And the other thing too that I think people don't necessarily always understand is that this is a very family-friendly event. It's not uncommon to see, 100 or 200 kids on the ship who are, at the shows with their parents. They're wearing makeup. They're getting dressed up with their parents. We had a great kids-only meet and greet with the band last year. There's a video online if you go to vimeo.com and search for Sixth-Man TV. There's a great video. It was a meet and greet with just all the kids on the ship. I think it was like 12 and under. We had just a ton of kids, and they had an amazing time. And that's just another aspect of how great this band is to work with. They're willing to, put their makeup on, put their outfits on, go down and spend, 2 hours with just the kids on the ship.
Sure. I remember it was 16 and under.
Yeah.
Kids 16 and under, they were able to bring something, and the band was going to autograph it for them. And it was just like a little party. That's pretty spectacular. I also want to say that even cooler is the fact that when you get on the first cruise, when I got on the boat, I walked into my room and immediately there was a gift from Sixth Man, and it was at that time, the first cruise, it was like a travel bag, and it had KISS on the side, KISS Cruise, their picture. It was really awesome. I still use mine to this day. The second cruise, we had enormous beach towels from Sixth Man.
Yeah, those beach towels were pretty cool, weren't they?
Yeah, oh yeah, they were slamming them on eBay.
Yeah,
it was the funniest thing. I was like, for real, I'm keeping mine. And then, and also there was a poster signed by all the guys in the band. And then last year, I think you guys did towels again.
Yeah, I think we did do towels last year.
It makes perfect sense.
Well, I think it's a combination of things, Joe. It's one, we want people to have fun little mementos that they can come home with to help remember their vacation with KISS and Sixth Man. And, I think the other aspect of it, too, you mentioned the autograph poster, and earlier we talked about the photo with the band. We really feel like if you're going to get those two things, if those things are coming to you on a cruise, and those are two things that you don't necessarily need to seek out during your vacation. I think from a guest point of view, the last thing that you really want to worry about is spending your vacation trying to chase somebody down on a ship so you can get their autograph.
Right.
From the band's perspective, that happens to them every day. And here they are, they're on vacation. They're in a highly contained environment with, 2,500 of their biggest fans. I think, they would much rather spend time mingling with people and being able to talk to as many of their fans as possible that are on the ship and do things, go out and watch the activities that are at the pool, watch the other bands that are playing without having to worry about being hounded by, fans that want to get an autograph or a photo. So we really try to give those to the audience in the hopes that those are two things that will be removed from their to-do list while they're on vacation.
Right.
And when that happens, it's a beautiful thing because then the bands, can walk freely around the ship. The experiences that happen become a little bit more immersive. And everybody has a great time.
Right. And there are rules, when you're on the boat, if Paul Stanley is walking around on the deck, asking him, telling him hello or whatever is cool. You don't need to take pictures with him.
Yeah. We try to discourage that. I mean, we want them to feel just as comfortable as the guests do. And I think, what you find, especially from going from a year-to-year event, is that they become much more comfortable hanging out with the guests, and the guests become protective of that moment. So when they see new fans that want to go up and ask for a picture, they're usually the ones that are policing it. So it goes back to that community aspect and that family feeling, and I think just more than anything, the respect for the artists that are on the ship. It's a really cool thing to watch.
Right. Okay. So before we go, is there anything else you wanted to cover real quick?
I think if there's anybody out there that's on the fence about sailing with KISS, now is the time to climb down. Come book a stateroom with us. You can call 877-379-9183 is our KISS Cruise booking line, and you'll be talking with somebody at Sixth Man that you'll sail with. You're not going to be talking to somebody in a different country. We don't farm that kind of stuff out, but just know we're here to take care of you, and we want to make sure that the guests that sail with us have an amazing vacation with KISS. We work all year long to put that together, and even if you have questions, you can give us a call. We're always here to answer those. So thank you so much for having us on board, no pun intended, Joe, with your podcast, and we hope to see all of you out there sailing with KISS and the KISS Navy this fall over Halloween.
Awesome. And before we go, I wanted to ask you one more thing. Tell everybody some of the other groups that you guys, the other cruises you do, because, people that are KISS fans could also be a 311 fan or a Kid Rock fan, which I know you do cruises for. We do. We do anywhere from 12 to 15 events per year. This year with KISS, we're also going to be doing the Simple Man Cruise, which is going to be Leonard Skinner's 7th year doing their own event. It's also going to be the finale, so it's going to be the last year to catch them out at sea with their event. We're doing an event called Mad Decent Boat Party, which is basically an electronica dance cruise. And then we've got a really cool new event this fall, which is Grammy Festival at Sea, Women Who Rock, and it features
a multitude of Grammy-winning female artists. And then we've got an event with a country sensation upstart called Georgia Florida Line.
Oh, we
and
know
those
that.
are the events. Yeah, those are the events that we're going to be doing this fall, and they're all starts off with KISS in October and rolls all the way through mid-November, and then we'll be announcing hopefully our final lineup for the spring of 2015 pretty soon. But this year we just finished sailing with Paramore, who was amazing. We did the 14th year of the Rock Boat. We did Mountain Song at Sea, which is a bluegrass event. We started working with Delbert McClinton on his Sandy Beaches cruise. So we do a multitude of events in different genres, and they're all fantastic communities. They all offer a little bit of the same, but they're all built around different host artists or different genres of music. So if you're curious about checking out a themed cruise, come check us out at SIXTHMAN.net, and in our events listing you can see everything that we've got upcoming.
Well, I want to thank you, Ben, for coming on the show. I hope this gets people off the fence and booking. I know that it is selling quite briskly, so you got to, if you really want to do it, listen to this show after you've heard it. Just do it. Like he said, you could put some money down and pay on it until you pay it off. It's not like you have to come up with the entire amount right up front. Hey, Ben, thanks a lot for coming on, and I hope to see you in October.
Thanks a lot, Jay. Have a great afternoon.
You too. So there you have it. Ben Ferguson from Sixth Man Cruises about the KISS Cruise 4. If you get a chance to go, man, you should really go. I'm going to be there. We can hang out, have a few drinks, maybe go to the Kissino. I can't stress it enough. If you people haven't had the opportunity, go watch the videos and look. Nobody has a bad time on that thing. And the fact that the show is gonna the acoustic show is gonna be done on the beach is gonna be awesome. It's gonna be really awesome. I mean, what's better than KISS and chicks in bikinis and beer? Anyway, I don't know if I'm doing a show next week because I'll be at WrestleMania 30 in New Orleans. If you're going to be there, look for me or let me know and I'll meet you somewhere and we'll hang out. Anyway, take it easy. See you next time. Peace.